Take his blood. If one bag isn't enough, take 2.
Mom pointed at Dad. She ordered them to draw blood for her lover. Mom was the youngest alpha in Blackwood Pack history. Everyone said she loved Dad madly. But after Adrian came back, everything broke. Adrian was Mom's first love. He had disappeared for years without a trace. Now he was back. He rolled up his sleeves, burn scars covered his arms, tearfully. He said, my grandparents had done it. They beat him, burned him, locked him away. Mom believed every single word. She ordered the healer to stop. Treating Grandpa made Grandma kneel in the rain and apologize before the whole pack. Dad lowered his head and begged her to investigate. Dad was never weak. He used to be the alpha of the Silver Crown Pack. He had his own territory, his own wolves, but he gave it all up for Mom, just so she could rule, all because he loved her. But now, Dad was on his knees. Mom kicked his hand away. Stop acting. Your pack owes Adrian a blood debt. Grandpa died. Without treatment, Grandma jumped off the cliffs behind our territory. After that, Dad stopped begging. He started doing strange things. My clothes were always folded. He wrote me a dozen letters but never let me read them. He taught me how to sew my shirts, how to find a healer, by myself. But that night I saw the mate mark on his neck fading. Now it looked like an old scar. I knew what that meant when a bond breaks. Dad sat in the hall packing my things into a bag. His old alpha ring from the Silver Crown Pack, a letter, some gold coins. He patted my head.
Ethan, if I'm not around, go to Elder Marcus. Head north through the pine forest. He was Grandpa's most trusted friend. If you get hurt, find Healer Rowan. He knows the Silver Crown Pack well.
Front door slammed open. Freezing wind and rain poured in. Mom was back. On rainy nights, she used to come straight to Dad. She would hug him, kiss him, and ask if he had eaten. Not anymore. She didn't even look at him. She walked in and tossed a document onto the table.
Sign it. Adrian has suffered enough. Whatever's left of the Silver Crown Pack should go to him as compensation.
This is the last my family had left. And you're giving it to him?
It's what your pack owes him. You must pay it back.
Serena, my parents took him in when he had nothing. They cleared his debts. Tell me, what do we owe him?
Enough! I didn't come here to hear this. Stop rewriting history. Sign it!
I wanted to rip the paper apart, but Dad caught my hand. He picked up the pen and signed Serena.
Serena, from now on, I owe you nothing.
What are you playing at, Kyle?
Dad didn't answer. He was deathly pale. Mom looked, like she wanted to say more, but she just grabbed the paper and left. The next morning, Adrian moved into the pack house, our home. Mom ordered servants to clear out Dad's room for Adrian. Dad's belongings were thrown into the hallway. His favorite orchids were ripped out. The vases smashed. I couldn't take it anymore.
Ethan, don't be upset. I just had the servants clean up. If you don't want me here, I'll leave right now.
Ethan, apologize to Uncle Adrian. Now.
Serena, don't blame Ethan. He's just a pup protecting his dad. I understand. Serena, do whatever you want to me. But don't touch my pup.
He took my hand and walked away. That night, Adrian collapsed. A piercing scream echoed from his bedroom. Everyone woke up. When Dad and I rushed in, the healer was already by his side. The healer was frantic.
He's lost too much blood. He needs a transfusion, now!
The healer looked right at Dad. I gripped Dad's sleeve. He had been weak ever since my grandparents died. Draining his blood would destroy him.
Do it. Use his blood.
They pinned Dad down. Dad's face went from pale, even drenched in cold sweat, he smiled. The healer looked at Mom Alpha.
Ethan, don't cry.
Alpha, that's enough. Any more will kill him.
Not enough. Keep going.
The mate mark faded even more. Once Adrian recovered, the whole pack revolved around him. Mom sat outside his room all night. Dad was almost bled to death, and no one remembered. While Dad slept, I sneaked into Adrian's room.
Come here, and I'll tell you.
I took a step forward. I was so stupid to trust him. Everyone rushed in. Mom saw the broken bowl and the blood on Adrian's hand. She looked at me.
Ethan! You're only 8, and you're already drawing blood?
Adrian clutched his bleeding hand. His eyes were bloodshot, his body trembling.
Serena, don't blame Ethan. He's just a pup. He's just upset about his dad. I understand.
The more he defended me, the more Mom hated me.
If his dad can't discipline him, someone else will. Send Ethan to the border outpost tomorrow. No one brings him back without my order!
Dad appeared in the doorway. He could barely stand, gripping the doorframe tight.
Serena, he's only 8. Do you know how the outposts treat pups? Do you want to destroy your own son?
Attack someone today. What's he gonna do tomorrow? He needs to be taught a lesson.
You'd rather believe Adrian than your own child? There are guards outside. Ask them what they saw before Ethan went in. Ask them what Adrian really did.
Serena, you've never looked at the truth. You only choose to believe Adrian.
Suddenly, Adrian clutched his chest, gasping in pain. The healer rushed in.
Alpha! Adrian just woke up. Don't let him get agitated.
Mom blocked Adrian from our sight.
Enough. I will deal with Ethan myself. I'll give you the 2 cabins by the lake. And that dagger you admired at the last gathering? I'll have it sent over. I'm not cold-blooded, Kyle. But stop upsetting Adrian.
Tears welled up in Dad's eyes.
Adrian killed my parents. Now you won't even spare my son. He's 8, Serena!
Adrian shook his
I
head.
didn't do anything. Ethan is just acting out. Pups learn from the one raising them after.
Mom's face instantly turned to ice.
You heard him. Ethan can't stay with you.
Slapped Dad hard across the face.
Ethan will stay under Adrian's care for now. You two are separated until I say otherwise.
Adrian stood behind Mom, a faint smirk in his eyes. Dad stood all alone, looking like something had been ripped out of him. I looked at his neck. The mate mark flickered, impossibly dim.
Ethan.
I jolted awake. Dad was standing by my bed.
Ethan. Take this. I told you the way to Elder Marcus. If your mother gives you to Adrian, take my ring and go to Elder Marcus. He'll know what to do.
I hugged him, tight tears spilling over. His eyes were filled with an unbearable sadness.
Ethan, I'm sorry.
The door was kicked open. Mom walked in. Several warriors followed her. Adrian was right behind her.
Serena, I think Kyle is trying to run away with Ethan.
Mom saw the bag. Her face darkened instantly.
You still haven't learned your lesson. Since you refuse to yield, I will teach you how to submit.
She raised her hand. 2 warriors stepped forward. Each of them held a black ash urn. Dad froze Grandpa's ashes, Grandma's ashes. After they died, Dad begged for weeks just to bring their ashes home. He cleaned the urns every day. He sat by them every night. They were the only things he had left in this world. He lunged at the urns. The guards held him back.
Serena, what are you doing?
Neil, admit your family wronged Adrian. Then I'll give them back.
Dad stared at her. The last spark of light in his eyes shattered.
They are already dead. Will you not even spare the dead?
Adrian tugged at her sleeve.
Yeah, let it go. I don't want Kyle to suffer like this.
His mouth said, "Stop," but his eyes screamed for more. Dad dropped to his knees. He didn't look at me. He knelt on the freezing stone floor, his back perfectly straight.
The Silver Crown Pack owes Adrian nothing.
Mom snapped and waved her hand. The guards stepped back with the urns. Dad lunged forward in the pack. Struggle. One of the urns slipped. It crashed onto the stone floor. The lid shattered. Pale gray ashes spilled everywhere. Dad collapsed. He tried to scoop up the ashes with his bare hands. Shards sliced his fingers, open blood, dripping onto the floor. He didn't even notice. He just kept trying to gather the ashes. The window was open. A sudden gust of wind swept in. The ashes scattered across the floor, over the curtains, over everyone's boots. Dad knelt. There, his hands covered in blood, he lowered his head.
Serena, I regret it.
His voice was quiet, almost calm.
I regret staying for you.
Mom felt the bond snap. Panic finally set in.
Kyle! It was an accident! I didn't mean to!
Mom went deathly pale and reached for him, but Dad pulled his hand away.
Ethan, I'm sorry. Daddy can't stay to watch you grow up.
No, Kyle! Healer! Get the healer! Now!
Dad didn't look at her. He looked at me, and he smiled.
I love you, Ethan.
My dad closed his eyes. He died. He was finally free. Adrian's smirk froze on his face. Mom clutched Dad's lifeless body, her fingers trembling.
Kyle, stop scaring me. I was wrong. I won't force you anymore. I'll give the property back. I'll give Ethan back everything. Wake up, please! Please!
He didn't answer. He would never have to answer her then. The healer worked on him for a long time. Then he shook his head. Mom refused to let go.
Try again!
Now that he was dead, she finally knew what fear was. Elder Marcus arrived. He saw the blood. He took off his cloak and draped it over Dad. Then he knelt in front of me.
Ethan, I'm Elder Marcus. Your father came to me before. Don't be afraid. I will take care of you.
Elder Marcus was silent for a long time.
He only prepared for the worst so you wouldn't have to face it alone.
Mom heard this. Her eyes were bloodshot.
He went to you?
Marcus looked at her, his eyes stone cold.
Many times, Alpha. He gathered proof of Adrian's lies. He just didn't live long enough to show it.
Proof.
If you had investigated even once, you would have known everything Adrian said was a lie.
That night, no one slept. The ashes were carefully gathered by Elder Marcus, but some things once broken can never be put back together. 3 days after Dad died, Mom learned the truth. The truth had always been there. She just never bothered to look. A stack of documents sat on her desk in the study.
Alpha, Adrian left the Terry willingly years ago. Kyle's parents never laid a finger on him. In fact, Kyle's father even gave Adrian some gold, worried he might need it.
Mom's hands clenched into tight fists, crushing the papers in her grip.
And the guards in the hallway the night Adrian was hurt, they finally spoke up. They heard Adrian call your son closer. They heard the bowl shatter first, and then the screaming. Ethan never even laid a finger on him. The guards saw the whole thing through the open door. He did it to himself.
Mom shot to her feet, stumbling out toward the Alpha quarters. Adrian was still there. In my dad's room, she shoved the door open. He sat before the mirror twirling. My dad's dagger in the light. When he saw her, he immediately put on a weak face.
Serena, you're here. My chest still feels so tight.
She didn't say a word, threw the files right at his face.
Tell me, what does the Silver Crown Pack owe you?
Serena, why are you suddenly...
I said tell me. You left the territory on your own. They even gave you money to survive. What did they ever do to you?
No, it's not like that. Kyle was lying.
Enough!
Mom told him what the guards had seen. He panicked, grabbing onto her sleeve.
I was just scared. I was terrified Kyle would take you away from me. I love you so much. Can you forgive me?
You love me? You killed Kyle's parents and you forced him to die right in front of me. You call that love?
I didn't kill him. He brought it on himself. If he hadn't been so stubborn, if he'd just listened, none of this would have happened.
The room fell dead silent. Mom looked at him. Last trace of emotion in her eyes turned to ice.
So you don't regret a single thing?
Serena, I didn't mean it like that.
Take him away. Bring all the evidence to the Pack Council. Fraud, theft, manipulation, assault, every single piece of it.
No, you can't do this. You promised you'd always protect me.
She didn't even look at him. The guards dragged him away. Afterward, she stood alone in Dad's room. She destroyed everything Adrian had ever touched. The dagger he admired, the furs he wore, the ornaments he moved. She collapsed to the floor, burying her face in her hands.
Kyle, I was wrong.
But he would never answer her again. Mom was banned from Dad's funeral. Elder Marcus stood with me by the grave. Dad's portrait was carved into the tombstone. He was smiling. That was how he looked when Grandma was still alive. Standing by the orchids, his eyes warm. Not how he looked when he died. He was just so pale and quiet. I placed white roses in front of his grave, right next to my grandparents. Elder Marcus had given their ashes a proper burial, laying them to rest side by side. Mom stood outside the graveyard in a black cloak, holding flowers. The guards blocked her path.
Ethan, let me see his father. Just once.
I turned around.
You already saw him. When he begged you, when you drained him dry, when he was beaten for protecting me. You saw him at his absolute worst. Now he's finally free. What right do you have to see him now?
She froze, as if my words had nailed her to the ground. Before leaving, I looked at the tombstone one last time.
Daddy, I'll grow up strong. I won't forgive her.
A gentle breeze swept through, swaying the white roses. That night, Elder Marcus handed me a sealed letter from my dad. Opened it. It was Dad's handwriting.
Ethan, if you are reading this, it means I couldn't stay. I'm sorry. I couldn't take you with me. Don't be afraid. I know you might hate me for leaving, but I am just so tired, Ethan. I thought love could turn an unfamiliar territory into a home. I was wrong. When a man is trapped, he has nothing. Never let this happen to you. Never give up your right to walk away. Not for anyone.
I put the letter down. Adrian's Pack Council hearing arrived quickly. Elder Marcus told me about Adrian's servant. He had been with him for years. The servant did all of Adrian's dirty work, passing fake messages, forging documents, hiding stolen goods. But he was terrified of being discarded. So he kept every private letter, every written order, every instruction, all in Adrian's own handwriting. After Adrian was arrested, the servant gave the letters to Elder Marcus. At the council, Adrian played the victim.
I never hurt the Silver Crown Pack. Kyle was just jealous of me.
Marcus presented the evidence one by one. Then came the letters, Adrian's own words, read out loud in front of the entire council.
Serena is so easy. I just have to shed a tear, and she buys every word. Kyle is in the way. He's a pathetic loser. His parents dying was a good thing. Now one in the Silver Crown Pack can speak up for them.
Elder Marcus remained perfectly calm.
We have the hallway guards. They saw you fake your injury. And your servant. He watched your scheme for years.
Adrian was completely crushed. Elder Marcus continued.
Adrian conned the Alpha into stealing the Silver Crown estate. All stolen properties must be returned to the sole heir, Ethan.
Adrian's head snapped up.
No. Serena gave those to me. She chose to.
She gave them to you based on your lies. Lies that are now proven. You have no claim.
Adrian broke. He turned to my mother.
Serena, save me. You said you would always protect me.
Mom sat in the gallery. Her face was ashen. She said nothing. Then Adrian laughed. A jagged, ugly laugh.
You think this is all my fault? I just told a few lies. The one who actually killed Kyle was you!
Dead silence. The very last drop of color drained from Mom's face. He was right. Adrian was the poison, but she was the one holding Blade. Adrian was stripped of everything, banished as a rogue.
Serena! You'll pay for this!
She didn't fight back, just sat there as if she had aged 10 years overnight, with Adrian banished. Elder Marcus accused my mother before the Pack Council, forced transfer of territory, failure to protect her pup, abuse of her own mate. Messengers carry the word from pack to pack, the alpha of the Blackwood Pack. She had killed her own mate. The Pack Elders demanded an explanation.
Alpha, your failures have destroyed every alliance we built.
If you remain in power, this pack is finished.
Relinquish your title.
Mom sat at the head of the table. Her face was completely blank. The old Serena would have torn them to shreds. Now she just stared at her empty hands.
Fine, I yield.
The youngest alpha in the history of the Blackwood Pack, ousted by her own people. But there was one thing she refused to let go of. Me. Mom stood up, her eyes red and desperate.
I am Ethan's mother. He is my pup.
The council elders looked at me.
I will never hurt him again. Ethan, do you still wish to live with your mother?
A tiny sliver of hope clung to her eyes. I shook my head.
No, I'm afraid of her.
Elder Marcus took over my care. Walking out of the council, Mom tried to speak to me.
Ethan, can I at least see you? Just sometimes?
Why? When Dad was alive, you never looked at him. Now you want me to look at you?
I walked right past her. This time, I was the one walking away. 3 years later, I was 12. The Blackwood Pack no longer answered to my mother. She gave up the rest of her hold over the territory, leaving everything to me. I didn't refuse. She owed my father. She owed the Silver Crown Pack their reputation. I never saw her. Elder Marcus said she wasn't doing well. Adrian had completely broken down. He lingered outside the pack borders begging to see her, but she never let him in. She locked down the estate, restored the bedroom to exactly how it used to be. She tried to replant the orchids Dad had grown. She visited my father's grave every single day, sometimes sitting there until dark. The guards told me one winter she knelt in the snow until she passed out. When she woke up, her first words were,
"Did Kyle forgive me?"
No one answered. The dead do not forgive, and the living have no right to forgive for them. When I was 15, I went to Dad's grave. My mother was there. She had aged so much, streaks of gray in her hair. She saw me.
Ethan,
Her eyes slowly turned red. I placed a bouquet of white roses.
are you doing okay?
Yes, Elder Marcus takes good care of me.
Her eyes welled with tears.
That's good.
A long silence hung in the air.
Ethan, your father's letter. Can I read it?
I looked at her with a calm that felt almost cruel.
No.
Do you know, Mom? Dad gave up everything. His pack, his status, all because he loved you. And you made him regret it.
All color vanished from her face. She began to tremble uncontrollably.
He had nowhere to go, and I made his life a living hell!
She stumbled back. The flowers slipped from her hand. She picked them up and carefully placed them by the tombstone.
Kyle, I'm sorry.
She cried and held the tombstone. The tombstone didn't respond. Never would I turn to leave.
Ethan!
She called out.
If I die one day, don't come to see me.
I didn't answer.
I don't want him to think I'm still bothering you.
I just kept walking. I became the alpha of the pack. Elder Marcus handed everything over to me. My father's properties, my grandparents' legacy.
From today on, this is all yours.
I returned to Dad's grave one last time.
Dad, I'm grown up now. I didn't let Mom, Serena, trap me, and I didn't let the hatred trap me. I'm moving on.
A breeze swept through the graveyard. The white roses swayed. Under my rule, the pack grew stronger. Those who had left heard. The pack had changed. They all came back. Years later, my mother fell critically ill. Elder Marcus asked if I wanted to see her one last time. I didn't go. They told me she held onto Dad's ring until her very last breath. She kept, calling my father's name until she could no longer speak. After she died, her entire estate went to me. I put it to use. I built a sanctuary for pups, named after my father. On the day the sanctuary opened, the sun was warm. Above the paland entrance, 2 lines were carved into the stone. When a man is trapped, he has nothing. Never let this happen to you. That was what my father taught me.